In today's video, we shall talk about the mathematical representation of a transverse wave. If you take a string of certain length and then you oscillate it at one side, what you're going to have is a formation of wave along the string like that. Each point on the string are in fact oscillating up and down as the wave propagates, say, to the right. When the oscillation of that string is perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation, the wave is said to be a transverse wave. There are a few parameters that are characteristics of such a wave. The first one is, of course, the maximum displacement of any point of that string as the wave propagates. That maximum displacement is called amplitude, and it's measured in the units of meters. The wave in this case is propagating to the right, and it has certain speed of propagation, and of course it is measured in the units of meter per second. The length marked here is called the wavelength of that wave, which is denoted by a letter lambda. And then there is this frequency of oscillation, which is related to the wavelength of the wave and speed of propagation of that wave. And the expression relating all these three quantities are given as follows. The frequency times the wavelength equals the speed of propagation of wave. We know frequency is related to angular frequency in a following manner, where omega is the angular frequency. The wavelength is related to another parameter called the wave number, given as 2 pi over wavelength. So as you can see, the unit for wave number is per meter. We need all these parameters in order to represent this oscillating wave in a mathematical manner. The mathematical function that we choose is a sinusoidal function, for example, the sine function. And this is how we describe the transverse displacement of any part of the string as the transverse wave propagates through the string. It is given as A, which is the amplitude, times the sine function, whose argument has the following form: kx plus or minus omega t. When do we choose the plus and when do we choose the minus? If the direction of propagation of wave is to the right, then we choose minus. If the propagation of that wave is to the left, we choose the plus sign. Simple as that. So in this case, we are dealing with the propagation to the right, so that means we should have a negative sign over there in that expression, like that. If y is the transverse displacement of each point in the string, what does dy dt represent? Or more accurately, a partial derivative of y with respect to time, because there are two variables. One is x and the other one is t. That's why we are using the partial derivative sign. The del y del t here represents the speed of oscillation of each point on the string. So if y is given by this expression, the speed or transverse speed of the string is given by a minus omega cosine kx minus omega t, a result that you would obtain by differentiating this function with respect to time. So the point here, there are two speeds. One is the speed of propagation of the wave, represented by that v that we defined earlier, and the other one is the oscillating speed of that string itself, or any point of that string up and down. That is given by this expression. In order to explain these things better, let's look at the following problem. A traveling wave on a string is described by that function. X and y are in centimeters, so that is x and that is y. T is in seconds. Determine the wave speed and the direction in which the wave is traveling. In order to get the wave speed, we need to know the frequency and the wavelength. Compare this expression with what we have written down earlier, sine kx plus omega t. So the number that multiplies that time is the angular frequency, omega. So in this case, it is 2 pi over 0.3. So omega is 2 pi over 0.3. That means since frequency is omega over 2 pi, that's going to be 1 over 0.3. Now let's do the wavelength. We know the number that multiplies the x is the wave number. The wave number is related to the wavelength as 2 pi over wavelength. So that means wavelength is 2 pi over the wave number. So in this case, let's look at this expression. That is the wave number. So 2 pi divided by the wave number, which is 2 pi over 60, or it becomes multiplying 60 over 2 pi, so that means it is just 60. Now we note it is in the unit of centimeters. Putting together these two, we can determine the speed of that wave. So frequency is 1 over 0.3, and the wavelength is 60 cm or 0.6 meter. And that will give you the answer in meter per second. And the answer is 2 meter per second. So that is the answer for part A. As we have mentioned earlier, in order to determine the direction of that wave, let's look at the sign. This is a plus sign, so that means it's traveling leftward in a negative x direction. That solves the problem. A wave has a speed of 250 meters per second. Its wavelength is 3.5 meters. What are the frequency and period of that wave? So part A is easy. Frequency times wavelength is speed. So frequency is speed of that wave divided by the wavelength of that wave. The speed is 250 meters per second. The wavelength is 3.5 meters. So that's going to give you 71.4 hertz. Now part B, the period. Period is related to frequency. Period equals 1 over frequency. So frequency is 71.4 hertz, and that's going to give you 0.014 seconds. And that solves the problem. Problem 3. The equation of a transverse wave along a string is given by that. Note the amplitude is given in the unit of millimeters. Find the amplitude, the frequency, speed, and wavelength of the wave. What is the maximum transverse speed of a particle in the string? So as we have mentioned, amplitude is given by that number, which is 4 millimeters. Now let's do frequency. We are dealing with the linear frequency here, so the number that multiplies time is the angular frequency. So angular frequency is 500 radian per second. So that means the frequency is that angular frequency over 2 pi, so 500 over 2 pi, which is about 79.6 hertz. Now let's calculate the speed of that wave. Now we know the speed is given by frequency times the wavelength. Now we know frequency is the angular frequency over 2 pi, and the wavelength is 2 pi over the wave number. So you see the 2 pi goes away, and you get the speed as angular frequency over wavelength. Why do we choose this form? Because we have those two numbers directly from the argument of that sign. So omega is the number that multiplies t. So in this case it is 500. The wave number is the one that multiplies the x, which is 15. And you get 33.33 meter per second. Now part D, the wavelength of that wave. Now we can get that from this equation. The wavelength is the speed of propagation over the frequency. Now we have just determined the speed. It's 33.33 The frequency is that 79.6 Hertz, and that's going to give you the wavelength 0.419 meter. Now part E, the maximum transverse speed of the particle. Now that means we will have to differentiate the y function partially with respect to time, like that. Note in front there is this 4, unit is millimeter, this is a sine function. So if you differentiate a sine function, you get a cosine function, 15x minus 500t. Now you have to take the derivative of that t term, which is minus 500t, and that's going to give you a minus 500, which need to be written in front of that cosine function. So let's rewrite this expression. It's minus 2000 cosine 15x minus 500t. So the maximum value for this function is the number multiplying the cosine, which is the magnitude of which is 2000 millimeter per second, or 2 meter per second. So that is the maximum transverse speed of a particle in the string, and that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.